Lotter has laid on the brakes. Bird is trying to attack Cassidy. Other way round, actually.
Oh, crunchy, got it. I see on board at the moment. No, and take moving. Stand by 10. Camcat, take Camcat back down the lane. But no replays until the safety car comes out. Stand by race control.
Now, if you're a fan of Formula E, you know it offers some of the most exciting racing in motorsport from iconic venues all over the world. But how does that on-track action find its way onto your TV screens, your mobiles, your laptops at home? Well, it's all thanks to the extremely professional broadcast legends at Formula E TV. At the centre of it all is this, the broadcast centre. Now, this is the beating heart of the TV broadcast, and everywhere you look, there's cameras, switches, cables, batteries, tripods and all sorts, including these little portable boxes where people come and go all week long. But what is it all for? What does all this stuff do? And how does it make the track action end up on your TV at home?
I'm Lee Flay, I am Technical Director for Formula E TV. Formula E TV provide host broadcast facilities for Formula E. We broadcast every round of the event, and we have done since Season 1, Round 1. Myself and the TV director, Westbury, we will arrive at a venue months in advance of the first event at that venue. We start plotting the rough plans where we want to place cameras for the best effect. So we've got in the order of 20 cameras, whether they be manned or robotic cameras, around the track, which we then intersperse with mini cameras for effect. So we can put mini cameras in the points where we think the drivers might come closest to the walls. We then add things like helicopter camera on top of that, high-speed camcat, wire cam systems. Whatever each venue dictates, we plot onto a plan and then turn up and have to instigate that plan. That's the hard bit. Okay, so we're in TV compound. This is set up a week before the race. So we arrive on a Monday morning, and the first thing we do is we start connecting up all the pods. The pods are what you see behind us. It takes us in the order of a week to put this whole system together, but it takes us in the order of about 24 hours to pull it all apart again and pack it up. We arrive, like I say, on Monday of race week, and by Friday afternoon we're ready to go live with Shakedown. We've got in the order of 60 kilometers of cable which we run around the track. There are 20 cabled cameras around the track. These are manned cameras or robotics or camera jibs. All our microphones, all our mini cameras, all of that equipment, all that technical equipment travels with us and is at every event that we go to. Running quickly down the line of pods, we've got Vision Pod, where all the cameras are color matched and exposure matched, so that when the director's cutting from one camera to the next, they all look the same. Next pod in the chain is the RF pod. This is where all our mobile cameras are received and managed and color matched again. The onboard cameras on the cars, we've got anything up to 66 onboard camera angles we can choose from on the cars. They all get managed and received in this pod as well. Master control room and central apparatus room. So this is where all the major equipment is stored and managed. The master control room is the brains trust. These guys are the ones who make the whole system work. They hang everything off of one central control system, which talks to every system, whether that be replay, the galleries, the vision mixers. That's all hung off the same central control system. And then we've got the audio pods towards the end, where all the track mics are brought in, and we get the sound of the cars from specialist mics that might be in the curbs, above the track on the gantries, down low by the apex of the corners. We're trying to get every nuance of the sound, because it's not like other series where you might have roaring engines. We've got electric cars and they sound completely different when you're cutting and mixing for track audio. So that's a completely different feel. Much of our on-screen graphics is automated. The data is collated by Alchemel around the track from timing loops and the transponders on the cars. That information is then sent as a data stream back here to TV Compound, where the graphics machines then translate that into the visual elements we see on the screen. The operators of that equipment are in Barcelona. So we send monitoring feeds to Barcelona, and the guys from Alchemel are then remotely operating those graphics engines which sit with us here on site. We have a broadcast centre in London which produces outputs for Channel 4 UK, for CBS in the States, for Star in India. Much of that is automated again with their own graphics, their own commentaries, their own content, and that's an automated process which comes out of our Ealing Broadcast Centre. Rome is one of our biggest venues. It's one of our busiest events. The sheer scale of the track and the facilities we have to deploy here because of that scale. We're in excess of 100 people in the TV crew alone, but then we've got Mediaset, our Italian partners here. We've got ProSieben, the German partners. They're also on site. So in all, the TV crew on site is probably in the order of 150 people.
Broadcasting Formula E around the world is hardly simple. But at the end of the day, somebody needs to be pointing a camera at the action and hitting record. Now, whether that's a race-winning overtake, podium celebrations, a candid moment in a garage, or just drivers having a laugh.
Well, my name's Steve, but everybody calls me Bull. I do RF cameras, the beast here. There's about 8 of us, sports pres, 2 of those, and the rest are floating about in the pit lane, trying to get anything that happens really, from any wheel changes, any damage to the car, to team principals, any reactions, engineers doing engineering things, anything like that really. Whether it is going to be in qualifying or the main race, we tend to be based here or post-race at the podium. You won't really see us during the race unless there is either some crash or a damage with the car and it's got to come in and get fixed, or we'll be picking up any reactions, celebrations, the highs and lows of the drama of the race itself.
Up the inside goes Sims, and Da Costa's locked up!
What are you doing?
They hit each other, Da Costa's in the wall, and the lead is gone! What on earth has gone on? Roger Griffiths cannot believe what he's seeing, the team principal!
The radio camera is a bit of a black art. Even with the top engineers, they never really, anybody who says they know exactly what they're doing with RF, you're lying, because it's very difficult. You run into all sorts of different problems. Every location that you go to, every country location, they're all on different frequencies, and it can be anything from police frequencies to planes, anything like that. There's a lot of RF frequency, so you have to make sure that that works properly and try and solve any issues that you've got before you start. There's a lot going on. It's a busy pit lane. You have to know your place, where to be ready. These don't just keep my ears warm. We've got 2 radios, the director, West in this ear, producer, Mike Scott in the other one, and between the 2 of them, you guide where to go. West is obviously directing the race, so you're listening to him to find out what they're covering currently.
Frame up RF cameras for garages. 1, 2, 3. Ready RF1 and take RF1. Stand by RF2. Take RF2. Stand by RF6. Ready RF6. Take RF6. Stand by RF5. Ready RF5. Take RF5. Stand by and please camera 12 and go 12. Take 12. Top 4. All right. So we're X. Take X.
And then Mike will be telling you about what's coming, which you can't see and you can't read. It's handy actually because most of the garages have screens, so as we're pegging it up and down you can have a little look, see what they're actually on at the minute, and because there's so much going on you can help sometimes by reading the race, seeing what's there and offering that either with team principals or just with engineers or mechanics, whatever's going on. Well, it all sort of comes through here. There's normally a battery on the back, but talking what I said about a minute ago, interference, that happens. So when you put power on, off it goes, straight out of there. The sender receiver, and there are aerials that pick it up, and they're embedded all the way against the back of the pit board. So when you can see all of the names, and they're hidden behind there so they don't look ugly. Giga Dave's done that, very nice job too, well done Dave. So it all looks nice and neat, but yeah, it's sent to there, back to the truck. All of the cameras come up on the screens, and he's got a choice of what to do, where to cut from, go from there. A lot of the time, you're just trying to put as much energy as you can into the pictures, because you want people to enjoy it at home. And if you're just standing there doing nothing, people are going to switch over, click. Now, you want to try and put some energy in, so try and keep some movement in the shot, not too much. You don't want it all wobbly, but at the same time, you're trying to get round as much as you can and try and keep the shot moving.
a torrid start to the year, but at the venue he took his first and Jaguar's first formulary victory. Evans wins again in Rome.
Step on board 5, ready on board 5, ready on board 5, take on board 5, step RF2, ready RF2, and take RF2, that's good RF2, that's good, step up please.
You have to try not to get carried away. Whoever it is, if they're winning, they're elated, they're all hugging everybody and all that. You want to pat them on the back, shake their hand, give them a hug, but you can't, you've got camera in the end. So you've got to behave. I love Dilbag Gill, right? I love Dilbag Gill. His passion is huge. He really, I mean, they're all driven. Everybody's driven, they all want to win.
What, De Vries, what is he doing?
But right from the beginning, I love all of this that he does with his chest. Beats his chest with his hand when he gets really nervous. But I love that. You know, it's much better seeing that bit of honest reaction. Some team principals can be very stoic, a bit sphinx. Give us something. Give us something. Show us some passion.
My name's James Mackenzie Robinson and I'm a track camera operator. We're 20, 22, 23 of us dotted around the track, and yeah, it's our job to pick up the images and pass them on to the director and just try and make sure that everything that the director wants we can supply and create the story visually. When the director calls through to every individual camera operator, it's incredibly fast paced, as you can imagine. So the director will know exactly what he wants. He's got a story.
Stand by please, 6, ready 6, leaders on 6, top 5 on 6. Take 6, top 5, go. Oh, top 4, take preview, top 4, and take top 3. He's got it. Lotter's got him.
It's incredibly fast paced. It's very high stress, but it's very rewarding because when it works well, it's brilliant.
Overtake, 14's got him, pre-14, take 14. That's good. Zoom in, and step on board 3, take on board 3. Oh, step by RF2, ready RF2, ready RF2, he's got him again, he's got back. Oh. That's a bit, so 15, wait 15, P15, take 15, second car, go.
We do vary our camera positions from race to race. I tend to go up on the crane sometimes, and this is a low one this weekend in Rome, but sometimes we go up very high, and that's a unique skill set, because obviously you've got to deliver all your work as a cameraman, but in a sometimes quite harsh environment. It's very windy and blowy up there, and there's a lot of other sort of natural issues you've got to take care of with climate and weather, and then also still deliver everything the director wants. It's very hard. It's a funny thing because a lot of people don't really realise that when the camera operator is picking up the image, we manually focus and manually zoom. So we have critical sort of micro movements with our fingers change the focus completely. So when you're doing a shot that's probably sort of, I don't know, 2 or 3 football lengths away and the car's travelling at 100 miles an hour plus and you're pulling focus on that image, you have to be sharp the entire time, otherwise the image isn't usable. So on live TV at 100 miles an hour, there's quite a lot of stress involved to make sure that it's right every time, and hopefully we are right every time. We've got loads of different lenses for different positions. I'm on a wider lens at the moment because I'm up quite high, and I'm offering 2 shots. So on this job I'm doing sort of the job of 2 cameras. So I pick up 1 shot and then I repo and I pick up another shot. I need to be able to move very quickly, so I've got this is all very physical, so it moves very fast. It's all balanced very, very well for me. So I've got my focus, so that's the sort of movement that we do between being soft and sharp. So when we're rolling through at a car travelling at 100 miles an hour or so, there's a lot of finger work going on there. My zoom is here, same thing, it's a little rocker, which I use my thumb. I'm looking through my viewfinder, which is here. So I can see from the other cameras, I can press a return button underneath here, a little tiny button, which allows me to see another camera's position. So I get a quick look at what another camera's doing, so I can get a visual idea of what the car's coming towards me, which one it is. I listen to the director, so I know that's definitely the right car. And then I pick up the car and I follow it through. So I'll physically pan the camera, and that's really how we do it. So it is it's a very sort of physical process to sort of get the image that you see on the TV. There's a lot going on with these little bits of kit.
Not all cameras are operated by people. In fact, some of the coolest angles to watch Formula E from are from the cameras on board the cars themselves.
We rig all the Formula E cars with live onboard cameras. There are 22 cars, approximately 70 to 75 cameras rigged in total. Each car has potential 10 positions that we can put cameras in. Working from front to back, we can go in the nose cone, we can go in the side pods, looking at the wheel or looking back at the driver and back down the road. We have the similar angles in the T-piece, looking forward and back, and one in the rain light, and one looking at the driver in either wing mirror. Every single car is rigged with cameras. If there's no camera in a position, they carry a ballast weight. So every car is even in terms of weight and weight distribution across the car.
So now we know how the images and sound are captured and sent all over the world, but there's just one key part missing. Who turns that into something that we can actually watch? And how do they decide what we should be hearing and seeing to follow the race action? Well, that person is called the TV director, and that magic takes place in here in the gallery.
My name is Westbury Gillett, aka West, and I'm the Executive and Creative Director on the Formula E. 3, 2, 1, and roll line there. 30 seconds on there. I'm overseeing the production basically of the cameras and the coverage of the world feed. The production gallery is where all the feeds come into. Okay, so we have, for example, 18 track cameras. We have 8 handheld RF cameras. They're the ones that move around in the pit lane. We have onboard camera feeds that come through. We have the helicopter. We have a camcat as well. We have mini cameras around the track to accentuate the speed. So the gallery is where all the sources come into and where all the audio comes into, so video and the audio, and that's where we basically live edit the show. We keep a track of all the action, and it's a big team of people, from fundamentally the rig team through to the camera crew, to the audio crew, the replay team, and I have a producer, have a gallery PA as well, and I have a vision mixer, so there's a team in the gallery basically working together, and what we're doing is the producer is very much guiding where we're going to next, particularly during a practice and a qualifying session when we're chasing times. So they're looking at who's fast and at what point, so we can then preempt who to cover next. We then get on them early as possible. Particularly in the duels is really exciting now, the head-to-head duels. And then they utilise the timing screens basically and the map, and then they guide me on what's happening. Then when it comes to the race, very much the race sort of unfolds. I used to race myself when I was younger, so I have that added advantage of understanding and preempting what's going to happen. So I might try to catch pretty much every single overtake and every incident on track, and that's the goal. I'm quite fortunate, my talkback goes everywhere, so I don't have to press to talk to anyone, and it goes out to all of the handheld RF cameras around the track. It goes out to all the track camera operators, it goes to the helicopter, the pilot even listens as well, the camcat operators. So fundamentally all of the camera crew and the sound crew listening to myself, the replay team as well, so queuing all of those up, and then the producer will key down and give a little extra information to the commentary team and the reporters. They would hear me and I'll press to talk to them just when we want to queue and come to them. That's lovely.
Yeah, 7:15 tomorrow morning, pre-practice 1.
Nice mix the camcat. When we come to the venues in advance, we do a site visit. We want to plan the camera layout to showcase the city. So in these incredible cities and great locations, we also want to show editorially the story, what's happening. We need to make sure we don't miss the overtake for the lead. Second and third. Second and third. 6. Take 6. Second, third. And then wait 8 for the others behind. Take 7. Second, third. Wait behind 8. Oh, take it. Oh. Give me a heart attack. Go, wait for the green one at the back. Go, yeah, you got it. And well done. Take 9. Great job, Stevie Roberts. Well done, mate. So there's lots going on at the same time, but we have to make sure we're trying to cover everything and make sure it's covered in a clear, concise way that it's not confusing to the viewer. And then another thing as well is just accentuate the speed, make the cars look as fast as they are. So it's basically the city, editorial coverage and speed, and make it look as exciting as possible. At the start of the races reminds me of the days when I used to race as well, be at the start of the race. So you get the pressure that builds up, and it's like I've spoken to a few of the drivers, how do you deal with the pressure? I think they thrive on it, and I think that's what I do as well. I enjoy the pressure. It's something that sort of keeps you sharp, and I'd rather the pressure than no pressure. Step at RF2, ready RF2. Take RF2, so my camera 18 on the rear, preview 18, ready 18. Marshall, take 18, stand by please camera 1, ready camera 1, ready 1, take 1, stand by camera 2, ready 2, take 2, stand by onboard 1, ready onboard 1, take onboard 1, stand by RF 1, ready RF 1, take RF 1, stand by camera 1, ready camera 1, take camera 1, stand by camera 2, preview 2, preview 2, take 2, stand by RF 5, ready RF 5, take, no, forget it, take it back, stand back, stand by camera 1, ready camera 1, 1, stand by camera 3, ready 3, take 3.
I do this job because I love this job. It's like the best job for me in the world. I did a degree in design, went to art college, got a job opportunity, and I used to race. I got an opportunity to work in Formula 1, and it's just a combination of doing what I love. So I love to drive, I love to design, and this is creative, and I love to direct. So it's just like the best job in the world for me. I would like to travel as well.
Excellent show, everybody. Excellent show. Great job, everybody. Really, really, really good. Great job. All cameras, sound, excellent job. VT, exceptionally good. Well done. Woohoo!
So many moving parts, so much hard work and expertise, all coming together, and the result is an exciting live race show that you can follow all the action and drama as it unfolds from the comfort of your own home. If you ever wondered how that all gets put together, well, now you know.